Mr. Jia, what's your reading to the three major announcements? And this is, of course, on a global scale, China's contribution to the United Nations and the rest of the world, especially its relation with the developing world.
I noted that during President Xi's statement, there have been 15 rounds of applause, warm applause.
It was being very well received.
Yeah, well, and especially after when he made these announcements. Each announcement came with a round of applause from the audience, and China has contributed to peacekeeping, as we discussed earlier. Of the United Nations peacekeeping operations. Now, China will do more in this regard and provide more funds for the United Nations peacekeeping initiatives and training and so on and so forth. And also, China will itself will set up a standing force, peacekeeping force with 8,000 strong of troops, and also the peacekeeping police, in addition to peacekeeping police. And also China will contribute $100 million for the peacekeeping forces of the African Union. So China will do its part domestically, preparing for future calls for peacekeeping operations by the United Nations, and contribute to the peacekeeping fund of the United Nations, and also for continental peacekeeping operations in Africa, because in Africa, we know that several countries now have the support of the United Nations in terms of peacekeeping. So they have a huge demand for peacekeeping donations, contributions of forces. So China has decided to do more in this regard. That shows that China would like to take a bigger responsibility as a United Nations Security Council permanent member and as a rising force. Of course, President Xi Jinping made quite a number of important statements in regard to the United Nations itself.
And I think one of the very important statements he made was that the world is truly shared by all, and he's really putting the emphasis on equality. All countries should be equal, and when it comes to sovereignty, each country has the right to uphold its sovereignty. And of course, one country's gain does not necessarily mean the other's loss. So what does that tell us about China's philosophy when it comes to its diplomacy, and especially this new model of major country relationship?
Yes, a lot of global problems are created because some countries do not respect the sovereignty of others. By sovereignty, President Xi Jinping actually explained what that covers. Not only the sovereignty not only means the territorial integrity and sovereignty, but also the sovereignty of a country, its people, to choose their own political system. That's also very important because countries in the world have different historical background, have different political systems. They may have different social values. All these should be respected, and no country should be allowed to impose their own political system or social values upon others. So all countries are equal. That's also very important. But we have seen that in the past few decades, including the past few years, some countries are trying to impose their political system onto others, and that has caused actually chaos and crisis, even migration crisis so far. So
well, China is trying to contribute more to world peace and development. Really, we could feel that from President Xi's speech, he's trying to base the China dream on the world prosperity, and he says that he said that, of course, there are his visions on world events taking place around the world. And he says that China dream and the world peace and development should come in hand, and they should take place together.
Yes, China's rise and China's development means opportunities for other countries. And we have many examples of that. For example, China is now the biggest trade partner of more than 100 countries, and the biggest trade partner of all its neighboring countries, because so China's actual development devotes to contribute to development of other countries. And also, President Xi says to the fact that the Chinese dream of building a strong country, of improving its people's life, also opportunities for other countries. The Chinese dream is not exclusive with other people's dreams. Actually, they are inclusive. And it means that China stands for common development, shared development. China stands for common and shared security. Mm-hmm. And because no one country can develop on its own.